Hello.
How's it going?
Hey, doing well. Every famous person in Newfoundland basically makes a cameo in this movie. You got Mary Walsh, Alan Doyle, Cathy Jones, Rick Mercer. Nik, what did it mean to you that all these people wanted to be a part of How to Be Deadly?
It was a really big deal to me because my uncle was on CODCO, which is Tommy Sexton, and he passed away of AIDS over 20 years ago, and or HIV. And we always looked up to CODCO. CODCO was kind of our heroes growing up. So to have the whole cast of CODCO, Mary Walsh, Cathy Jones, Andy Jones, Greg Malone, was really quite an honor, and the film is dedicated to Tommy as well. So it really meant a lot to me because those were kind of our heroes growing up. So to have them in our film is quite an honor. Yeah.
What do they tell you about what you're doing now in terms of continuing their legacy of Newfoundland comedy?
I mean, they've never given me any off the cuff advice of how to keep it going. But I mean, they've definitely been very supportive. Like when we called them up and asked them to do a cameo, it's our first feature film, and there was no hesitation. They signed on right away. CODCO was basically on the cutting edge. I mean, they really poked fun at a lot of things that a lot of Newfoundlanders got upset about. I think we're kind of doing the same thing. So it's nice to keep the poking fun at tradition going, I suppose.
And they must have meant a lot to you guys in your generation in Newfoundland.
Oh, they're huge. Yeah,
Absolutely
that was
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all anybody talked about. You know what I mean? There was obviously no YouTube back then. You couldn't watch clips over and over again. So it was an appointment television sitting. You know what I mean? You had to be in front of the TV waiting for it to come on and stuff. But yeah. It was really nice. I mean, and I've worked on the Rick Mercer report for over 10 years now too. So he's just an awesome guy, and he just supported it right from day one. Him and Gerald Lunds are great guys. Yeah.
So the whole province is behind this thing. You've said that this is a mix of people you've met from all over the province. But where did the specific idea come from? What was the moment that Donnie Dumphy was born?
Well, we used to make skateboard videos, and we were pretty good, but we really weren't making much out of it, and we were having lots of fun and stuff. But used to do a couple of skits here and there and get a couple of friends in on it and put on some costumes. And I remember wearing his mom's snowsuit, and it was extra small. And I mean, I had it on at a party, and it was up to my elbows and up to my knees, but I got it on.
Yeah.
I probably had it on for 3 days, but
Yeah. I think the thing was too with the skateboard videos was they started as skateboard videos, and there was little sketches inside them, and then eventually people start coming for the sketches instead of the skateboarding. So the sketches got better than the skateboarding.
Well, skateboard culture has its own comedy as well, right?
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
Yeah, we're definitely influenced by Spike Jones and the Girl Chocolate guys and stuff like that for sure. Yeah.
Well, I bought the Honda 50 is pretty much what got me into it big time. Is I bought the Honda 50 for Salmon Festival, which is a festival out in Grand Falls. And you can drive your mini bikes, whatever, around the campgrounds. And the year I bought it was the year that they outlawed it. But somehow I ended up getting my bike into the campgrounds.
Yeah.
So there was 2 or 3 other ones there that had it. And when I got back, Nik was like, let's just go on the streets of St. John's and throw a costume on you and see what we can get. And we went downtown and we drove through all the alleyways. And after the first day, I think it was Daryl Dumphy.
You were Daryl Dumphy first.
Yeah, about gibberish gangster rapper. And we just, he just asked me the stupidest questions, and I just come back with the even stupider answers, and
Yeah.
So the dirt bike gave a lot of this sort of...
It opened it all
it
up.
Opened,
because I used to drive it around town, and he was like, man, you're driving this on the streets. What are you doing? And I'm like, man, police see me, and they wave at me. They're like, and I'm like driving down the road. And
you felt like sort of this silly outlaw type of guy?
Exactly, yeah.
What does the wig give you?
That's a hard question. It's just it's to me, Dumphy, when people say, what is Donnie Dumphy? It's just, I say the easiest way is drinking with a wig on. Like it's me drinking with a wig on, and I turn it up a couple of notches is about it. It's me to a T.
You describe yourself as not really an actor.
Yeah, no, not at all. No.
But I mean, also the wig gives him a bit of notoriety.
Gives me power.
It gives, but it also, I mean, lets him live a life in St. John's, so he doesn't get recognized.
Oh, exactly.
So he can actually live a pretty private life in
Yeah.
a small town. You know what I mean, or a small community, I guess, right?
I've heard Newfoundlanders describe Donnie as a skeet or a hard ticket.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Want me to field this one?
Well,
I mean, skeet is kind of like, some people call skeet like a, sort of lower class person or someone who doesn't come from as much. And we really embrace the skeet. I mean, those are the people.
Skeets.
We are. I mean, we're all. They're sort of a culture that we really think is funny. A lot of people, and higher up think that we should sweep them under the rug. And I don't. I feel like they're just as pretty and as colorful as the Newfoundland commercials, as the row houses and stuff. I think that we should embrace those characters more than we should embrace those painted houses.
It is quite different from the tourism ads.
It is, and that's the thing, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the tourism ads. I think Newfoundland is beautiful, right? I mean, sometimes it looks like an ad for Jurassic Park. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. But I mean, I feel like the skeet and these characters that myself and Leon went to high school with are really cool. I just think it's really cool. And
That's where you say the mixture of everybody comes in, right? Yeah. Like everyone we went to high school with that. Sold prescription drugs or done something, like whatever, but just the harder cases.
But just harder cases, you know what I mean? And everyone tries to mimic them. That's the funny thing. I mean, so obviously they left an impression on you if you're trying to be them all the time. You know what I mean?
Do you worry though about playing into sort of negative stereotypes about either Newfoundlanders or working class people?
No, I don't. I used to. I don't anymore. I feel like if you take yourself way too seriously if you try to make everybody else happy. You know what I mean? I definitely feel. I feel like, if you can't laugh at yourself, then what's the whole point anyway? So I don't. I used to think like that, but no, it doesn't bother me at all anymore. I'd rather just try to make people laugh and entertain people, and that's the whole point.
Where do you find the heart in this character to avoid sort of playing into those negative stereotypes?
Just the funny Newfoundlander. Like, people love a funny Newfoundlander. We're known as hard workers, no matter what some people may say. We go out west and we kill it. We bring back the money, and we're funny. We do it while laughing at ourselves. I mean, like Nik said, what are you doing if you can't laugh at yourself? And I laugh at myself every day, flip out at myself, call myself everything. But at the end of the day, it makes me better.
Leon, Donnie is often compared to the Trailer Park Boys or FUBAR. How do you feel about those comparisons?
Love it. I'm really glad to be in the same boat or categorized in the same area, but I think the Trailer Park Boys are awesome. I think what they got going on is so amazing, just everything that's come together for them. And the FUBAR movies were excellent as well, like great Canadian comedy.
Were those projects an influence as well? I mean, we talked about Newfoundland comedy tradition, we've talked about the skateboard comedy tradition, which I think is downplayed. I mean, someone like Spike Jonze is hilarious. Were those projects an influence as well in your comedy, Nik?
I think of maybe a little bit at first, like a tint of it at first, but definitely in the film, no. If you watch How to Be Deadly, I mean, it's not a mockumentary. There's no, and we shot interviews, and then in the editing room, Miles Davern, myself, were cutting the film, and we decided to take the interviews out. We didn't want it to be a typical mockumentary. We wanted it to be its own thing. We wanted it to be a film that, when you're a kid and you watch a film over and over again, like something you wouldn't just want to watch once, you'd actually watch it over and over again, like it play out the VHS. So we wanted to make something that you could put on at any time. And so back to comparison, no, I don't think it's too much like, I think it's totally different. And we embraced Newfoundland accent. I mean, we didn't keep the accent neutral. We went full on in the accent. We didn't stay away from that. I mean,
subtitles, just full on.
We didn't put the subtitles in.
That's why we want you to watch it 100 times, because you're going to need to watch it 100 times.
Yeah, like when we first did the videos, like we sat on them for a couple of years, and I brought them up, and I said I was working on Rick Mercer, and I was showing a few of my friends that are from Toronto and other places in Canada. And they said, that is really funny. He goes, what did he say? And so I think that's why I think we originally put the subtitles in, because he did speak a lot faster back then. So, I mean, it's not like we've toned it down. It's just, at first it needed subtitles, but we didn't go with that for the film.
I love that the humor translates even if the vernacular doesn't. Yeah. And we talked about Codco, Rick Mercer, what you guys are doing. It seems like Newfoundlanders punch above their weight when it comes to comedy. What is it about Newfoundland, Leon? Is there something in the water that makes people funny?
Yeah, definitely something in the water. Yeah. No, like it's just the small town ideas. It's like I said, the port communities and stuff like that. Everybody goes like kitchen parties. At Friday night, everyone goes to one house. They all have a kitchen party. They all drink her up, and they all have a good time.
It's a social culture.
Yeah, there's no bars. There's no nothing. It's just totally social, and everybody is just having a good all time, and that's what you get when you go to these little port communities: is good food, hospitality, and kitchen parties.
You know, it's Ed Rich, who helped write the film. He said it's the kind of place like where you could go to a bar and you could see like a fourth generation lower class person drinking with the president of an oil company. Like there's no the same people be at the same bar. There's no social stratification. Yeah, like, in Toronto, that would never happen. You know what I mean? So there's that element too. So there's no, yeah, people don't get boycotted as much as you might think.
Now, Nik, St. John's got a bit of a swankier image since the oil boom. Is the St. John's of Donnie Dumphy still a big part of the city?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be. It's just you got to find it. I mean, there's a part of town like just that sometimes we call Pajama Town. You see people walking around in pajamas all day, right? You just got to find it. Yeah, I mean, it's not in the ads, but you got to find. I mean, I think
that should be in the ads.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean,
we can make some good ads.
I love Pajama Town. It's by the Fish and Chip District. So there's definitely it's there. It's just you just got to find it. And myself and Leon and Ian Sandoban, we write the albums together, and he's so good at coining those kind of like little things, like not Pajama Town, but like little things because we all grew up with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he has that memory of knowing every moment of like who did what, when it happened. You know what I mean? So it still exists. You just got to find it.
After this, you and I are going to make a tourism Newfoundland ad, and it's going to be me saying, "Come visit Pajama Town, get
buy
some
single
fish and
smokes."
chips in your pajamas." All
I
of
made
Canada
it.
would flock there.
I made a parody of a tourism ad, and it wasn't well received.
Where it's nice one day a year.
Yeah.
Finally, what's more important to you guys, to make people in your hometown laugh or to connect with a broader audience outside of Newfoundland?
At first, it was all the friends, make everybody smile. But then, as soon as we figured that we could catch a broader audience, it was let's make everybody laugh. Let's put this out there. Let's go. Because Dumphy was up and down. We went on tour a couple of times, but at the old album, and it was almost out. The candle was really low, and all of a sudden, we got this kick in the butt with the short film, and then all of a sudden, we're back writing again, and the new film, and then it just the candle was refilled again. It was really cool.
It's not an overnight thing. It's 10 years now we've been doing this. So there was many times we almost said goodbye to it, and it's definitely there's a lot of paperwork to fill out if you want to make a movie in Canada. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it was almost done, and then but now it's it's in a good place right now, I'd say.
Do you know what the secret is, Nik? I mean, you talked about people laughing even if they didn't understand what was being said. Do you know what the secret is, I guess, to Newfoundland comedy that makes it translate even when people don't necessarily understand what's being said?
I don't think there's any secret as such to Newfoundland comedy. I just think that you're only as good as your last story. So everybody is so good at telling stories there. It's the best storytellers I've ever heard. I know a million people that are funnier than me that could tell a story that's so funny. And that's the thing, it's sitting around maybe a lot of time indoors from bad weather, you know what I mean? Talking.
Yeah,
so
winters,
maybe
long
that
winters.
was maybe practicing, maybe that's why they got so good at being funny. But yeah, no, and like I said, a lot of them don't take themselves too seriously, and that's a great thing to have.
That might be the secret.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much